podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Hello, I'm your host, Les Bubka. Welcome to Anxious Black Belt, a podcast that focuses on karate, mental health, and everything in between. If you enjoy our content and would like to support us, best way to do that is to listen to another episode, share it with your friends, and leave us a review. All this stuff helps the mysterious algorithm to introduce our podcast to new audience. Thank you for joining me, and let's listen to the episode. Hi guys, today I would like to talk about something that I see in karate, and it is it still karate? But first up, I want to acknowledge that we are currently in a half term, which means my home is buzzing with activities, though not all is joyous. As one of my kids is feeling under the weather, she's not very well, but recovering. But hey ho, that's the parenting for you. Before we get into the today's topic, I'd like to give a huge shout out to our competition winners, Lennox and Terry, who each have won an Anxious Black Belt podcast t-shirt. Congratulations. And a special thank you to Terry, who decided donating his t-shirts to raise funds for Karate for Mental Health CIC, where we are empowering people through karate training. If you're interested in the auction, you can find it on Facebook, and it ends on the Wednesday morning. Good luck to all the participants. On the other hand, if you would like to grab a t-shirt and support the show, check out the link in the description below. And now let's talk about, is it still karate? So lately I've been hearing a lot of voices within the karate community questioning whether karate is still relevant. Some argue that the components like kata are outdated and the karate doesn't fit their needs anymore. And I get it. I've been there myself, and I still wrestle with those thoughts sometimes. So recently, I asked on Facebook whenever I should keep the name karate in my practice, especially since my approach has evolved. We're moving more like a kickboxers, throwing like wrestlers, and fighting on the floor like BJJ practitioners. So what does that mean for my identity of karate? Um, for me, the richness of kata has become clearer as I explore other martial arts and sports. I've come to see kata as an outline for my personal expression in karate. It's not just about the memorizing the movements. It's more about unlocking the potential within those forms through research and exploration of my unique style. But here's a thought. If you are unhappy with karate, why not let go of the name? If you find more fulfillment in boxing, Muay Thai, or BJJ, then why are you clinging so much to the karate name? Take inspiration from those who forged their own path, like Kudo or my Polish friends in Furo. They didn't hesitate to create their own training formats and competitions, leaving behind what didn't really resonate with them. So the karate name, they dropped it. They pursuing their own version of the martial arts, combat sports. So why not do that? And I went through a similar phase about 10 years ago when I stepped away from karate and formed the Shinaido martial arts. It was liberating on the beginning to train without the traditional gi and forms, but over time I felt something was missing, something that made me feel like I've got a hole. That something was kata. Returning to karate felt like coming home. It's where I built my confidence and formed lifelong friendships. I realized that the essence of karate is still very much alive for me, despite its evolving nature. However, I sense that some in the karate community are stuck. They express dissatisfaction, but lack the courage to explore beyond their comfort zones. It's challenging to step outside and create something new, what is essential for growth. Karate provides a sense of belonging, a well-recognized name that lends legitimacy to what we do. But those promoting cross-training while still clinging to karate often create insecurity among practitioners. They're building their media presence, and that doesn't always serve our community well. I'm not against the cross-training. I've been doing it since the start and I love it. But the more I engage with other martial artists, the more I appreciate the unique strengths of karate. If you are unhappy with karate, perhaps it's time to step away to see where that leads you. I did, and I found my way back to karate with a deeper understanding and appreciation for it. If you don't try something new, you'll always find reasons to complain about karate. Embrace the journey, whatever that looks like for you. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that you find your way. You either stay with karate or you're gonna move on and create some new exciting martial arts. Everything was created at some point, and everybody took that leap of faith. I been assured by my friends that the name karate suits me the best. I enjoy kata. I like teaching kata. I like finding connections between kata and fighting. I like finding connections between kata and grappling. I like finding connections between kata and groundwork, which is not many there, but for escapes are okay. So if you are in a position that you are struggling with identity, are you do karate or not? Just make your decision and try to find the best path for yourself. Well done for listening to all of it. You are a superhero. Thank you very much for your support. And if you could leave us that review on a podcast platform, that would be amazing. I appreciate your time, appreciate your support, and I wish you all the best until the next one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.